Sorry, guys. I guess YouTube shut down on me, so I'm going to record this way and then upload it to YouTube. So we are still on chapter 3, Cognitive Foundations, and we left off on processing information. So we're talking about processing speed. So adolescents are faster. Adolescents are faster than children are at processing information. There's an increase in speed of processing from the age of 10 through the late teens, and you'll find out why as we go along, but I will give you a little information here. The brain development is improving, or I should say, your brain capacity is improving because you got two things going on here. You got myelination during adolescence into late adolescence, and you have synaptic pruning. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. So staying on that, there's also something called automaticity. So automaticity is how much cognitive effort the person needs to devote to processing the information. It's kind of like, let's use the example of tying your shoes. When you first learn how to tie your shoes, you end up having to think about it. Oh, let's do the bunny ears and turn them around and stuff like that and put them through. To the point where now, as adults, you guys don't even think about tying your shoes. You've had to use so much cognitive effort back when you're first learning a skill that once you do it over and over again, it becomes automatic. You don't even need to think about it. Adolescents show greater automaticity of processing than the pre-adolescents do. Automaticity depends more on experience than age alone. So if somebody is learning something at 5, 6, 7 years old and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it, eventually because of the experience of doing it so many times, they end up, the skill becomes automatic. So now there are limitations to the information processing approach. For instance, reductionism, ding, ding, ding. Breaking up a phenomenon into separate parts to such an extent that the meaning and the coherence of the phenomenon is, as a whole, becomes lost. In the holistic perspective, they believe that information processing scholars have lost that holistic perspective that characterized Piaget's work. And the idea of that computer analogy. Computer has no capacity for self-reflection, no awareness of how their cognitive processes are integrated, organized, and monitored, which leaves that analogy insufficient and inadequate. Now, one of the things I try to talk about when I'm in class, I know we're not doing that right now, but it's important as a student to be a critical thinker. Everybody should be critical thinkers. So adolescents provide the potential for critical thinking in several ways. There's a wide range of knowledge is available in the long-term memory across a variety of the domains. The ability to consider different kinds of knowledge simultaneously is now increased also. There's also more cognitive strategies that are available for applying or gaining knowledge. That's why when people become adolescents, parents struggle with them sometimes. There's more conflicts because they actually have more capacity to argue. So they have more to pull off of or grab onto. It's important to understand that just because the brain is improving in its capacity and speed and things like that, adolescents have a higher ability than children to be critical thinkers. And it's important for you guys. It's like the idea of me being a professor or seen as the authority doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I'm human. So being a critical thinker, you can question information. You can question what is told to you by a professor. And it's important, especially as a college student, to be critical thinkers. Now we talk about social cognition. There's two aspects of social cognition. There's perspective taking, which is basically the ability to understand the thoughts and feelings of others. Selman's theory of perspective taking is based on a stage approach that children and adolescents will go through. The egocentrism of childhood gradually